Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at Apple, BABA, IBB. We're going to use the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. And we're going to use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So we're going to follow the daily first on Apple. And Apple had a nice gap up on news, I believe. But you got to be careful with this one. We're still not closing above the 618 and this high pivot trend line here, which is right at 116.14. We got almost above it. They gapped it above. I wish it would have went up here a little bit more and never made it. Came right back down, never confirmed. I'm thinking this one's on the way down. We still have Janet Yellen's news tomorrow, so anything can happen. But keep an eye on this one. I'm waiting for pattern on this to possibly move up. If this starts coming in, I think we're going to fill the gap at the 20 and possibly move lower. So be careful on Apple here. That little head fake today might have been one of those, hey, get on board, Apple's great again, and the next thing you know, they're dumping. We're starting to have a little bit of a topping tail here. We're going to see what happens, and we're making higher lows here as this thing pretty much just channels down. We made a little lower high here, but I'm still looking at these stair steps here. So let's see if we could get a little bit higher. If this thing reverses and causes a little tail, I think we're going to go right back down to the 104. But earnings on this one's coming up, so anything's possible. If this thing gaps up on earnings, I'll be going short, period. Let's go into BABA. BABA, $3.18 sell-off. We've been watching the daily chart. We've been talking about these upper areas in here. If it cannot get above this, high pivot, the 109.87, I think we're going to have problems. We moved down. Let me zoom in a little bit more. We moved up into this area, came in. This is an inside bar bearish pattern. They popped it up to the 750 retrace, and they filled the gap right here, and boom, right back down. If we stay below this 20 and confirm, I think we're heading to gap fill right here, right around the 101.36 area. I mean, this stock shouldn't even be up here, guys, to be honest with you. It went up on news and earnings, upgrades, everything else. You got this little pivot down in here. Just be careful. If you're long BABA, earnings are coming up on this one eventually. You have a gap down there. It needs to get above the 110 area. Then ultimately, we had a lot of overhead resistance here, and I'll go on the weekly chart and show you that. Come on. My charts are moving a little bit slow today, guys. Come on, there you go. So again, you're right back into this area where you had a ton of buyers almost 2 years ago, and they become sellers, guys. And when everybody's in on an IPO and this thing just slaps you for a good year and a half, this thing comes right back to all these people been holding the bag for a year and a half. For me, I'm just, you know what? I'm done with BABA. Get me out of this thing. I don't care. They're trying to hype this thing up as much as possible. They're going to try to hype it up to the new all-time highs. But again, we still have a bullish consolidation at the highs. But I'm thinking we're going to have to see where this weekly close. If it closes below that 104.58, I think we could start heading down, guys. Just be careful with this one. It is extended from the 20 and the 50. You got to be aware of that as well. Yeah, so just be aware of this one, guys. Sorry, I had to stop this. I uploaded another video. But yeah, so just keep an eye on this. Let's see what the weekly close is, and we'll go from there. Let's look at the IBB. That thing just got slaughtered today, guys. Wow. So we talked about this one. We talked about the 300 area. Every time it gets up there, boom. You got a nice trend line. Boom, boom, boom. Gets up there again. Everyone was for sure. This is the time. It's going. Oh my gosh. Never confirmed. Reverse. Boom. Set up a little bit. Came in. Bearish pattern. Inside bar. Collapse. Right into great support here, guys. Even filled the gap down in here. So it can possibly get a bounce. Keep an eye on this one. If the markets get a nice bid tomorrow, this one should rip up pretty damn good. If it does not, just beware that you have some, this one could get really ugly fast. You better hold this area right here. If it does an inside bar retrace back up into this area, you better short this thing, period. Weekly chart. I'm going to go to the monthly as well on this one. This will be the last one of the night. Back below the 50 and the 20. We talked about it here. Got above the 50, came right back in. Got above the 50 and confirmed on a weekly, but never closed above this. Came right back in. We're right back below the 20 moving average exact, with the, what am I trying to say here? We're back below the 20 MA, but we're into this support from this lower inside bar. Needs to hold here. If it doesn't, here's your next level, and ultimately 240 in that area if the markets start to dump. But the big pattern that I've been talking about is the monthly inside bar, and it closed below here on the monthly. That's even more bearish. Look at this thing. Look at this right here. 4 months sideways collapse. This is 9 months sideways consolidate. This is, I'm thinking we can go to 200 bucks. That's me though. I mean, or lower if the markets really start ripping. This has no business being up here. But look at this. They got all the suckers up in here. Slam it. They got them all back in again. Slam it. They're trying to get them all back in. Unless there's some miracle or Janet Yellen comes out with a speech that she's going to do free money policy for the next 42 years, then we might go up. But man, this is some ugly action. And then Illumina or whatever that one's called, that thing just helped this matter big time. But a lot of stocks are starting to come in. You know what? Let's go to Amazon real quick here. I got a little bit of time. Let's go to the monthly. We're still hanging on to that trend line up there, guys. Let's go back to the daily on Amazon. Daily. Daily, again, we have an umbrella top. It's starting to just roll over. I mean, we're going to see. I mean, it's not telling us much yet. I do like the action today. I'd like to see it close below this area right here, right around the 830.41, and then we could possibly go back down. Weekly, we've been following that big trend line, guys. Remember that trend line from 2014 right there. We're right above there. We barely closed above this green can. Actually, I didn't even measure it. I think we did. But look, it's starting to come right back in. So if we close below this low pivot, the 831 area, so I'd like to see about 830. Then I think we can retest this, but we still don't have confirmation above this trend line, period. And if this fails, and if this thing doesn't gap up on earnings, we're going straight down, guys. I don't know how far, but we'll try to figure out as it's going. And even if this thing gaps up, short it, period. You have to. You have no choice. So let's look at, what else can we look at real quick? We could look at Googl. This will be the last one. It was down 460. I think they had news, so they held up pretty strong today. Still down, though. It was funny. We covered our short on this one, and there's a couple guys making fun of us shorting up here. Then it was green while the markets were crashing. It was like, I told one guy in StockBookie, I said, hey, man, the markets keep selling, this one's coming in. Oh, you're an idiot, blah, 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 I'm buying, whatever he said. Look at this. Fade. I mean, it was at the all-time high, and it faded right down to 810. But we were short this one. We did cover this one today for, I don't know, maybe $8-9, almost the full amount, and that was a nice short. You don't have to have a lot of shares. Even if you have 100 shares on this one, guys, that's $1,000. $1,000 in a day. I'll take that every day of the week. So let's get back into the daily. Daily, they tried gapping this thing up. See how it came back in? Nice bearish pattern, retraced up to the high, never closed above it. Came right back in when the markets dump. Markets keep dumping. I don't care what stock it is. They're all coming in, period. Especially the high flyers. High flyers are going to be the worst ones. And if they have bad earnings, look at Illumina. Look at Dollar General. Look at how those things just came in like a brick. Look at Alcoa today. Everything was so good. Why was that thing down? I'm telling you, they had a split, I think. They went to 30. They're going to be right back at 10, Alcoa. But yeah, I mean, this one's still holding strong. Weekly chart, you have a little bit bullish consolidation on the top, a macro bull, micro bear. Let's see if this thing can hold. We're going to know more on the weekly close come Friday. We still have Janet Yellen in place, so anything's possible, guys, so be careful. All right, so that's going to be it today, and I got to take off. Everyone, thanks again for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.